Beyond Roanoke Entertainment presents a YouTube and podcast production.
Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today we are speaking with Deep Root Seasoning. Hey, Sean, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you, Josh?
Doing good, doing good.
Awesome.
So, just kind of to jump right on in, tell me a little bit about yourself. What your background is before you started Deep Root Seasoning.
Well, I've worked a lot of different jobs. Before I started doing the barbecuing and stuff like that, I kind of was doing automotive work, and then I did mechanicking work on like industrial equipment, stuff like that. And then I just my dad's always been a cook since I was growing up. I always just watch him drink a lot of beer and cook a lot of food. So I don't know, it kind of came natural to me. And then, that's just kind of the path I decided to go. It kind of came natural to me. What's that? Hold on. Hold on, you're breaking up. Hold on a second. I can't barely hear you. Austin. Wi-Fi? Let's go see.
Okay.
Let me go on Wi-Fi.
Okay. Oh, looks like he dropped out, guys. Technical difficulties. He should be back here just a few minutes. Make sure you guys go check out his products. He's on Instagram under Deep Root Seasoning, one word. He's got links to all of his product lines, his website, and amazing products. So we should see him again here in just a few. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties here. You know how Wi-Fi and the internet works. It can be unpredictable. So here he is.
All right, back in.
All right.
I don't know what happened there. I guess
While we're waiting,
the service, got a little bit broken up.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were we?
We were talking about background and.
Uh-oh.
How did you come upon doing seasoning?
I don't know if the service on your side's bad or if it's my side. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, there it is. So what were you asking?
Did you come into making seasoning for a living?
Well, like I said, my dad, he's been cooking for years, as long as I remember, being a kid growing up. He would go hang out with his friends and they would burn a piece of meat and they would drink beer and have a good time. And I kind of adapted that into my lifestyle. I mean, I come home and, I start up my grill, do all the stuff that I want to do. And it just one day my wife was like, hey, you should really think about marketing the seasoning that you use because it's really good and people would love it. So that's kind of how it happened. I didn't even have any intentions on marketing it. I was just kind of like cooking for a living or cooking dinners and stuff like that and for friends. And then it just kind of developed into this.
That's awesome. I know you sent me stuff, I think it was last year, and it's very, very good. We love it. We use it a lot.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah. I think you're one of the first people I actually sent seasoning to. And then we kind of got the shipping and stuff like that all figured out to where we could actually do it now. But yeah, you're one of the first ones that actually received any of the seasoning out of state anyway.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic product. The one that you sent me was the fajita, and that one. That's my go-to.
Awesome. Yeah, the fajita is it's probably the number one seller, I would say. Depending on where you're at, some people like the spicy. The spicy can get a little hot, but yeah, the fajita is probably top on the list.
How many products do you offer?
So we have 4 different flavors. We have meat candy, which is like a sweet, and then we have a hot mama, which is the spicy. It's basically the same thing as the sweet one, but it has a little bit more heat to it. And then we have garlic salt pepper, which is like your all around everyday steak rub. Very good on steak. It's good on everything, but it's really good on steak. It makes those flavors pop. And then we have the fajita, and the fajita is like that taco seasoning that you would get at the store, but it has a little bit more flair to it. It gets a little bit more of that south of the border flavor, if you will.
And I know, well, at least I think you guys have, it's like all natural seasoning, isn't it?
Yeah, so everything that we get, we buy in bulk. We don't run any of the preservatives or anything in our stuff. So you might get like a little bit of clump or something like that in it because it will absorb moisture. But you just got to shake it and it'll break up. But yeah, we don't use any of the chemicals that keep it like flowing like water or whatnot. You know what I mean? Everything is 100% just that seasoning. What you would get what seasoning you would get basically. So if you buy chili powder, it's chili powder. If you buy salt, it's salt. You know what I mean? There's no preservatives in it.
Now, when you came up with the seasonings, what was your process for doing that to get the profiles that you have in the seasonings?
Well, so the sweet and savory, one of my favorite things, which is meat candy. One of my favorite things to cook is pork spare ribs, St. Louis style or baby back. Ribs, pork in general is one of my favorite things to do. And I've been using that seasoning for years. You know, I've had that seasoning as my mix since I kind of got really heavy into barbecuing. And so that one kind of started off. My wife, she was just like, you need to get this out to people because it's some of the best seasoning I've ever had. So I'm like, okay. The other ones are, I kind of like went to sleep one night and it just came to me. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go in the kitchen and play around with some seasonings and see what pops. And the other ones that's just how they popped. I would say the garlic salt pepper, my brother, he hit me up because that's his favorite stuff is that garlic salt pepper hit. He had to have it. So he got a hold of me and he said, hey, I love your other seasonings, but I need something that has a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper. That's what really gets me, good. So that's how that one came about.
Awesome. So I've always been curious on production standpoint. And do you package everything, label everything?
Yeah, so everything we do is in-house. My wife prints out the labels. She does all the computer work, everything that has to do with any technology because I'm not very tech savvy. She takes care of all that. I basically mix the seasoning and then I help her bottle it, and then we put the labels on and everything ourselves. So everything's done right here in-house. We don't have any huge manufacturers that are mixing our stuff and putting random labels on it. Everything that comes out of this, out of our seasoning company is touched by me and my wife.
That's awesome. That's what I like to hear, because a lot of that stuff that you get that is made by the people that produce it, I feel like it has a different meaning behind it for me, just because I know it's not majorly manufactured in a warehouse somewhere or a production plant, and it when you get products like that, they're made with a lot of love.
Yeah, definitely. One of our things that we tell people is like the reason why it tastes so good is because our main ingredient is love. You know, what a lot of people are missing is they're looking at the dollar. They're chasing that dollar, and they're not producing a quality ingredient. Well, I wouldn't say they're not producing a quality seasoning, but they don't know what they're producing because someone else is doing it for them.
Exactly. When it comes down to your product line, you have a product that you're most proud of, and which of the products are the most popular, would you say?
So if I had to come down to it and say that I had a product that I was most proud of, I would say it would be the original meat candy, because that's kind of what started us and got us moving in the right direction. Um, and I would say, if depending on what you're going to cook, the best products are so say if you're going to do a lot of pork shoulder or pulled pork or spare ribs or something like that, you want to go with the meat candy. It's got that sweetness to it. It's got that peppery to it. It's just a very good pork mix. Same thing with chicken. It works really good on chicken and stuff too. But if you were going to do beef or something like that, I would go with the garlic salt pepper mix. I do all coarse grind. So it's got like those little pockets of flavor that make that beef pop, opposed to like a fine grind where it's just all you taste is the seasoning and you don't really taste the beef. Because that in the end of the day, you want to be able to taste the meat you're eating. You don't want to just taste seasoning. You want it to make everything better, not cover up everything. So,
Right.
but I mean, all the products are really good. Everything, like I said, everything's handmade here, and they all have their go-to areas. I mean, obviously, fajita is going to be great on any kind of south of the border cook you're going to do. If you're going to do like, you know, some random tacos at your house or something like that, the fajita is going to be the go-to. And if you like a little bit of heat, the hot mama is going to be the one to go to if you want your pork shoulder to have a little bit more heat to it. Like I like my food to bite me back. So I go with the hot, but a lot of people just like that sweetness on there. So the meat candy would be what most people would prefer on beef.
Yeah,
Or
it definitely. It sounds
yeah,
like it would enhance it quite a bit.
yeah. I mean, you know, any kind of seasoning you get is going to enhance everything. But what I try to do is I try to make the meat pop more. So you're getting that meat flavor, but you're getting also a great flavor on top. You're not One's not covering up the other, you know.
Right. And tried and we did it with the chicken, beef, or anything like that. We put it on some vegetables, and then for something that was different, really good that way. So, you know,
Yeah. Oh
my
yeah.
wife and
I mean, a lot of.
go ahead.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, the seasoning's great. I mean, you know, vegetables, they also deserve their little fair share of a shake or two of some seasoning. So definitely, I mean, you know, you got to enhance the flavors on everything a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, ever since we got it last year, my wife make any kind of uh type food. That's what we use, regardless of whether it's chicken, beef. I think we even put it on hamburgers once.
Awesome. Yeah, appreciate it. That's great.
Um, So I'm also curious. I know you're out in California. What are you in any stores out there?
We're in one store. We're in Cal Farm and Home right now, which is a store in it's in Winton. It's it's just this small mom and pop store that does a lot of like agriculture stuff. And we're gonna try to push it harder into more stores. We just haven't got the barcodes and stuff yet. We got to get the barcodes, the nutrition facts, and all that. So we're working on getting that. But yeah, it will be in more stores soon.
Excellent. And I know you touched on it earlier about the shipping aspect of it, but are you able to ship all over the place now, or?
Yeah, we could ship everywhere. I don't run anything but UPS because they take care of your product. Your product gets there, you ship it one time, it's done, it's taken care of. So, I mean, we pay a little bit more to run UPS, but I've ran all the other shipping outlets, and UPS is the only one that actually takes care of your seasoning. Everything else is kind of like they just don't really care.
Yeah, free from Postal Service or FedEx, or if you HL, if they're still doing that,
Yeah,
damaged.
oh yeah, everything will be all broken apart, and it's just not cool when you have to when you have to send the product two times. You might as well just pay the price once and then just have it, what I mean, taken care of the first time.
Yeah, exactly. Um, do you have any plans to bring out any more flavors, or are you working on any more?
I do have a flavor in the works right now to be the fifth one, and I think I'm going to call it quits at five because I feel like at a certain point you're just throwing money at a wall. But the fifth one is going to be a like a chili lime lemon pepper. So you're going to have the best of both worlds when it comes to like a south of the border hit, but also like a poultry and a fish. So that's the next one I'm working on, and it's coming soon. It's in the works. But it's just one of those ones where I got to get down and sit there for a couple hours until I make it work, and it's what I want it to be.
Gotcha. Um, when it comes down to the whole the seasoning aspect of everything, and I've seen some of your stuff on Instagram to where you use your stuff on there, and it whenever you make something, it looks great. Do you have? And I just wonder, because when you smoke things or make barbecue and stuff like that, it turns out so well. Would it be something down in the future where you'd open up like a barbecue place or like a barbecue truck or something like that?
So I've talked to a few people. I have a couple friends that are doing small business as well. And they've told me that I need to open up a restaurant or I need to do some kind of catering service or even plates and stuff like that. At the moment right now, I want to do it, but I got to get a hold of a certified kitchen and do all that stuff so I could do it legit. Everything's got to be right. I don't want to give nobody a bad product and then have them be able to come back and give me issues because I don't have certain certifications or something that say you can cook, which I can cook all day. I'm not ever going to put out a bad product. I just don't want to have somebody that's disgruntled or, you know, people that are was it haters are going to hate, you know what I mean? So I don't
Yeah.
want to have to deal with problems. So, but yeah, eventually in the future there will be something like that. Definitely working towards that. I have a couple events planned where I'm going to be kind of doing some stuff. But at the moment right now, actually selling plates and stuff like that, I haven't really got to, but it is going to happen eventually.
Yeah, because I know, especially around here, in the Roanoke area in Virginia, it's just all the rage right now. They're everywhere, and there's new ones popping up all the
Oh yeah, definitely.
and we have a not really a seasoning company here, but we have some people that uh, do put out a good product, and they actually partnered with one of the barbecue joints here. And I just wonder if you've ever had anybody try to do that with you.
I haven't had anybody partner with me. Everything we do is kind of just our own thing. I do have seasonings at a restaurant in Texas. They're running some of my seasoning right now. Um, I haven't really reached out to anybody to see if they would run my seasoning full time at a restaurant around here. But barbecue around here is like people are kind of the stores that are or the restaurants around here that are running barbecue. They kind of are tried and true in what they have. So, I mean, for them to switch everything up and try a whole new seasoning, I guess they
Mhm.
kind of frown upon it.
Yeah, and I definitely get that. It's just, you know, you just for me personally, just being on the outside, I just wonder, since you have such a great product, if somebody had ever done that. So that I was definitely curious about that. Let's see. So, when it comes down to what you do you have plans in the future to make it, like a not so much like a national brand because you can kind of do that now with shipping, but make it to where people can, eventually buy it in, certain stores, like Whole Foods or, some of those type of places.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think sometime this year we're gonna get the barcodes. I'm gonna say probably within a month or two we'll probably have the barcodes, and I'm gonna push it to pretty much like every Ace Hardware I see. Pretty much any store that sells local, I'm gonna try to push it into, and then hopefully by me pushing it into the local stores or the stores that sell local, it'll make its way to the bigger stores because bigger stores they require, you've been in business for so long, you got a great track record, stuff like this before they'll allow you to be in their stores. But yeah, eventually it's gonna happen. Like we're trying for this year to get into a few more stores.
Gotcha. What's your go-to smoker? Do you have a brand that you use that you like more than another? Or
Um, right now I run a trailered unit that was hand built by Big Country Fab, which is in Ripon. You can look him up on Instagram. So that's what I run. He has good products. They work really good, and that's my smoker. I was running a char griller. It ran pretty good, but I want to go big with everything, so I just went with a bigger pull behind trailer offset smoker.
nice. Yeah, and it's go big or go home.
Oh yeah, definitely every time.
um, so you're on Instagram. Are you on Facebook also?
Yeah, we're on Facebook. My wife runs the Facebook account. It's Deep Root Seasoning as well. I also have a TikTok. I don't spend much time on TikTok because TikTok is just not it's not a great marketing tool as to like Instagram. Instagram is way better for marketing and actually showing your product off. TikTok is more of like a flamboyant dance around and try to make millions of dollars kind of thing, and that's not really where I'm at.
Right. Yeah. Um, I know you have a website that people can go see to purchase them.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
www.deeprootseasoning.com.
Excellent. Um, so one thing I'm curious about, going back to the whole smoker aspect, do you get like a go-to recipe of things you like to smoke other than, your traditional like briskets or pork butts or
Uh, So you mean like, do I have a traditional like seasoning recipe?
Well, as far as like, I know there are some people out there that'll do stuff like, I don't know, that'll put certain kinds of sweets or desserts on a smoker, or I've heard people of doing stuff like potato salad and whatnot.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll run like mac and cheese and stuff like that once in a while, but usually, I just do my meats and stuff on the smoker. I don't really dabble around too much with the side dishes, just because I'm not really good with side dishes, to be honest. I'm really good at cooking meat and getting that good smoke and flavor into the meat. The side dishes is my wife's gig. She's really good with it. That's why we make a good team. So usually I let her deal with all that, but I do on occasion. I'll do like smoked mac and cheese or something like that.
Excellent. Yeah, and again, I love your product. I mean, there's nothing that I've had that even comes close to the flavors that are in what we have. And regardless of what you put it on, it's going to turn out good.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Um, and I definitely appreciate you taking time out of your day to chat with me for a bit and give me some insight on what you guys do and how things are done. And I can appreciate the whole uh, family aspect of the business because that's important.
Oh yeah, I mean, so much stuff gets left behind when you go so big where you're not in control no more, where I think that becomes an issue. And then, a lot of these big companies, I feel like they're letting seasonings out that they wouldn't normally let out if it was coming out of their house. You know what I mean? So I just feel like the down home aspect of it is a little bit better than just to send it off to somebody else and let them do whatever they're going to do with it and put your name on it.
Yeah, and I feel like when somebody's doing something by hand and packaging each product by hand, you not only control your uh, quality aspect of it, but you know that the first one that you make versus the 50th one you make is going to be the same no matter what. And you also get that pride aspect when somebody says, "Hey, I love what you're doing." It's definitely
Oh yeah,
something we're missing a lot of.
definitely, definitely. I think everything's gone to huge corporations, and a lot of the little guys are not. They're not getting the respect that they should, because the big corporations are kind of like pushing them out, especially when you're doing something where you got these people that are putting out tens of thousands of pounds of seasoning. It's hard to keep up with them, definitely. But the profile of a down home homemade flavor is going to beat any kind of mass produced flavor any day.
Yeah, yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I've talked to a bunch of people that produce their own product. They mix it, they make it, you know, there are people that go to farmers markets, all the ingredients for the product, and it's just you can hear the pride in your voice when you talk about everything that you guys do and the products that you offer. And at the end of the day, when you buy a product, especially me, knowing there are people like you out there that are making a spectacular product, when you get to talk to the person that makes it, it puts on what you're getting.
Right, appreciate that, man. Yeah, it really does. They say that love is not an ingredient, but it really is. When you're actually the one that's putting in the work and you're putting the blood, sweat, and tears in, the love actually does matter, and that is an ingredient that goes into stuff, and it does make stuff that much better. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, And people like you, with being entrepreneurs and doing your own thing, just prove that, one, the American dream's still there, and that hard work definitely pays off.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, no lie, there is a lot of hard work behind it, but it's there. It's just how much drive you have. How hard do you want that goal that you've set for yourself? And at the end of the day, if you want that goal hard enough, you're going to get there. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. And I couldn't agree more. I mean, you see the most successful people in the world and you wonder, how did they do it? And a lot of people think, well, it just happens overnight, and that's definitely not the case.
No, everybody you see that's successful has been working their ass off for a long time.
Yes, exactly. And
Or they
I
were
have
born
a
into money.
yeah, exactly. And I have a lot of appreciation for that because before I started doing what I do, I didn't really know what went into just a simple production aspect. But after doing it for a while, I mean, you have an appreciation for people who anything together, and it gives you a new appreciation for people yourselves that work hard every day to make a great product and try to get it out there as much as possible. And you know, with what you guys do, I think that the world's a better place just because it keeps people on their toes, big companies on their toes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because there's these big companies that are all putting out the same product. So you see, this new product that's hitting the shelves or hitting other people that are usually buying their product, and they see their sales fall behind. They're like, "What's going on?" Well, you got people that are actually putting love into their spices and not just trying to make a dollar. So that's why they're kind of, I guess, if you what am I trying to say? I guess the big companies are looking out for the guys that are making the new stuff because the same stuff that they've been making the same stuff for years, and it's not going to get any better. It is what it is. So I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's just for me, it's a booster to see that there are people out there that are still grinding down. They're doing what they want to do with what they believe in, and they're still reaching for the stars because that a lot of that, and when you find it, you recognize it.
Oh yeah, there's so many people that do these pop-ups. So many small businesses, they do little pop-up, kind of like a flea market kind of thing or whatnot, if you will. They call them pop-up markets or whatnot. And there's so many people doing it, and there's so many people that have these great products that I hope it all takes off, because there is a lot of people out there that have their heart and soul in this stuff, and they work very hard to get these great products that they produce. And I'm one of them. And there's just so many more of them, and I think that there's a lot of good stuff out there that can be bought that doesn't have to go through huge corporate owned manufacturers and stuff like that. So there is still a little bit of life for the American dream.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the one thing that I'd love to see, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, but you had the craft beer movement. Now you've got the craft hot sauce movement. I'd love to see where seasoning is popping up everywhere, and it's great quality stuff like you have, and where you're able to try a bunch of different things. I think that would be awesome to see. Just be able to get great products.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the barbecue world is really getting bigger. I think you're going to see a lot more seasonings come into play. I think you're going to see a lot more barbecue sauces come into play. I mean, there's so many good ones out there already, but I think because of the COVID thing, a lot more people got outdoors and were cooking outdoors because you couldn't do anything else. So I think the barbecue world is got this new influx of people that are coming in. It's going to blow up pretty big.
Yeah. And, I think I speak for a lot of people when I say it's a big thing, and it's growing. Definitely a growing market.
Oh yeah.
In my area, we have a place here that they have like a small Airstream trailer, and they've done so well with what they do that they're actually getting a brick and mortar place. And it's great to see people like that and like yourself that put in the work every and grind and grind, and at some point it takes off to the point where you're able to make your production bigger and then move on to the next step and then continue to grow.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the American dream that we're all chasing, right? Is keep going and keep pushing and keep grinding, and then hopefully one day it pays off, and then we're all sitting happy, But
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going and keep doing what I do. Hopefully it'll get there.
And I think to your point, you're right. When it comes down to doing anything from an entrepreneurial aspect, if you're money for the wrong reason, because you won't be successful.
No, definitely. If the at the end of the day, all you see is the dollar signs, and you can't wait to get home to count your dollar bills, then you're never gonna get it, because that's not what it's about. It's about, like you said earlier, talking about the pride thing, and it's just to be able to say that I have a product that me and my wife have put together, and it has my label on it, and then I see people that when I do vendor events, I'll see people walk by and say, "No, we already have all 4 of them, and we use them every day." That makes me feel good. And to know that they have a good product in their kitchen to use for their cooks, that's what makes me feel good. It's not about the dollars that come after it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, everybody wants a little bit more money, but at the same thing, it's like you're not going to keep producing great quality stuff if you're just worried about that dollar.
Exactly. I feel like that if you're focused on just making a good product, getting it out to as many people as you can, the money will flow. It'll come.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's a give and take. You got to put your heart into it, and then eventually you'll get back what you put out. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's not about me chasing the dollar. It's about me. What really makes me happy is when I cook a good cook, and then people try what I cook, and then they just get a big old smile across their face, because that right there reassures me that I'm doing what I need to be doing.
You're right. And tried and true, when you make a feast, it brings people together. That's like the ultimate gathering. Food is that one thing that is universal across all language barriers.
Definitely.
Hey, you taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to me, and I definitely would like to do it again.
Yeah, whenever, man, just let me know. We'll set some stuff up, and yeah, I had a good time talking to you. I had a great time answering all the questions. I mean, this is the first one I've ever done. I hope I did all right, but
oh yeah,
hey,
absolutely.
we can do more. That's for sure.
Definitely. And definitely let me know when you come out with that new seasoning. I'd love to try to promote it.
Yeah, when I come out with it, I'll send you some. So you'll have it. You can try it, and then you can go on your end and do whatever you're gonna do. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Just let me know. I'm all about just true input. I don't like people lying to me. If it's not good, then it's not good. But if people lie to me and they tell me it's good and it's not, then I have no direction to go. So I'll send you it when I get it made. It'll probably be here in the next month or so. And I'll send it
Excellent.
to you, and then I just want your input. Just give me your input and what you think.
I definitely will do that. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, you have a great night, and I definitely will reach out soon.
All right, brother.
All right. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, you have a good one, huh?
You too.
All right, bye.
All right, bye-bye. There you have it, guys. That's Sean, Deep Root Seasoning. Find him on Facebook, Instagram, and on the World Wide Web. So that's the episode for this week. If you liked it, do us a solid, drop us a 5-star rating. That will definitely help this podcast reach new people like yourself. So until next week, this is Josh saying so long.